Hello everybody! So, I am back. This is my final video of diving in Thailand. This video was exclusively filmed at the islands off of Koh Phi Phi, and I did this one with the Adventure Club Dive Centre. I decided to do 4 dives in one day, so I did 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, half an hour break in between. It was quite intense. I was incredibly tired by the end of the day, but this video, it contains a mix of clips from all of them. It's roughly chronological, so you can sort of see the conditions changing throughout the day, but do enjoy. So one pretty cool thing about Koh Phi Phi was the massive schools of just random fish that you get. Like, you see so many masses of these yellow fish. I have no idea what they are, so I'm sorry about that. But you get so many of them, and they just don't move out the way. You can literally, it's like skydiving. It feels like skydiving through a cloud, but you're sort of sinking through a shoal of fish. It's very cool. So, as you're about to see, we did some crevice diving. So basically, it's an area that's about probably 2 by 2 meters that we had to squeeze through, which, although it sounds quite wide, when you've got a lot of scuba gear on and you're kicking to move forward while trying to record with the GoPro, it is quite tight. And I think I captured it pretty well. The video is boosted, so the brightness is turned up as much as I can, up the exposure just so you can see what's going on, because much like the last video, the caves are pretty dark, it's hard to see. So hopefully you guys find that interesting. So this tiny little yellowfish that you can see here is a boxfish. They're related to porcupine fish or pufferfish, as you might know. They're pretty small, they're hard to see, and they're literally shaped like a cube. It's so funny. This one isn't the best example, but I have a clip that I didn't end up using because you can't quite make it out, but there are some that genuinely look like a Minecraft block underwater. It's so funny to look at. I'll try and get a macro lens for the GoPro so that I can show you, and hopefully I'll get some better clips that way. So the main draw to this dive site is what you're about to see. It's an artificial reef. Basically, it's loads of hollow cube concrete blocks. They've all been dropped in a specific way, and it just makes, it's like a platform or a foundation for a coral to start attaching and start growing, and it basically creates a reef that way. They have a very unique ecosystem, as you can see from the videos that are about to come. There's loads and loads of species down there. Each of these cubes is actually massive. It's about 3 by 3 meters. The video doesn't really do it justice, but I think that's more on the GoPro. They always make things look small. We couldn't get too close, or couldn't really swim in between, just because it is a coral garden and they grow endangered coral there. And if I was to accidentally kick one of the sides, I could set back about a decade of coral growth. So it's really just not worth letting divers go through there. But it is really cool. Most of this video is made up of this sort of habitat for the coral. It is really, really cool to experience when you're under, and there's so many varieties of different fish and coral down there as well. Plenty of Nemos or clownfish, and porcupine fish. There's batfish at one point, so keep an eye out for that one. So that annoying high-pitched noise that you can hear there, that was annoying me as well while I was under. As you can imagine, for me, it's quite a lot louder just having open ears. But I was quite concerned at the time. I thought it was air leaking out of my tank. So I swung my tank around and checked, and there were no bubbles coming out. And so I asked the dive leader guy afterwards, and that noise is just commotion from ships on the surface. So you can't really tell where it's coming from. Underwater, everything sounds like it's coming from everywhere. But I imagine there are a few ships up top, maybe speedboats, maybe jet skis going around, and that's what makes that really annoying noise. So you can sort of see that fin that my dive leader has. I need to learn how to do that. It's more of a frog kick, but not quite. It basically just stops you flailing your legs around, and it means in areas like this where you're doing conservation, it's a lot more safe for divers to go through. This will be important to me actually, because in about a month's time, I'm going to be doing a conservation volunteering program where I'm going to be planting coral gardens. So do stay tuned for that. I'll see if I can film it, maybe not. But I need to learn that, and I'll hopefully do the advanced and then figure it out from there. But we'll have to see. So this is the batfish I talked about. The locals sometimes call them elephant earfish just because how they look, and in Thailand there are so many elephants. Everybody knows what you mean. They're very funny, they're very friendly, and they react quite well normally if you fire a bubble ring at them, which is always quite funny. Now these little camouflage fellows that you can see here, they're actually a type of fish. They're ghost pipefish. They're related to seahorses, but they're not seahorses, they are pipefish. There's actually two of them here. It's really difficult to see, but when he puts his hand across, they sort of move and react to it. There's only one place on this artificial reef where these guys are found. I did find them on some other dives, but it's always like a red herring if you can find it. It's literally like Where's Wally going through the reef and looking for these certain fish. So here you can see an incredibly friendly giant porcupine fish. So these guys are incredibly cuddly, incredibly inquisitive, and they get a pretty bad rep because you can be poisoned if you eat pufferfish. They're not poisonous normally, they're just spiky, and they only go into their little spiky ball mode if you scare them. As long as you don't scare them, it's all good. They're very, very friendly, and they like to rub up against you. They like to come and say hello. They play with the fins, and then, as you can see here, one just swims in front of him. And as you just saw there, I got my first half-decent video of a stingray. These ones are called Cole's stingrays. I think I'm pronouncing that right. They've got little yellow and blue spots on their back. They're not so big. They're maybe about a meter squared area. And as you can see, they sort of hide beneath the sand until you shine a light on them, and then they tend to move on. But they're always really good to find. You've got to keep an eye out because the barb is dangerous. If you startle them and they stab you, it does hurt. It's obviously lethal if it hits your organs, so you've got to give them a bit of a wide berth. And this last little guy that you can see, he is a member of the nudibranch family, and these guys are basically sea slugs. They come in all shapes and sizes. It's always really fun to find them. They're quite small, so they're difficult to see, but look them up. There's so many varieties, and this is the one guy that you can normally see in Thailand. There are a few more. I'll try and get good videos of them when I'm in Indonesia, so stay tuned for that. And thank you very much for watching this pretty short video. Do stay tuned for the Indonesia videos. I'll be doing my advanced course soon. I won't be able to film the advanced, I'm afraid, just because I don't have the qualification, and so I need to focus more on the skills. However, once the advanced is done, might get some diving done in Bali or maybe Lombok. I'll certainly get some videos of when I do my volunteering, because with any luck, we'll see some manta rays, we'll see some whale sharks. If not, we'll definitely see some other types of sharks and turtles. So please stay tuned for that, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.